Hi everyone, thanks for dropping by my YouTube channel today and checking out this video on Bob's Breckwell brand pellet stove controller. Bob sent me this one because he was having problems with the auger drive on it. Actually, this is the second time that I see this controller. Back in December, Bob sent it to me and I believe I had it repaired, but when he got it back home he was still having some issues with his auger drive on it. We talked over the phone, tried to correct a few things, but Bob was never able to correct the issues with it, and most importantly, it kept blowing the fuse that's located between the two switches here, in spite of the fact that he had a brand new motor on board. Together we made a decision to send me the controller a second time, and I would look at it. This time though, Bob sent me his motor as well. So Bob, I want to thank you for cooperating with all this and helping me out. I appreciate that. But now I believe I've got the issues fixed. It turns out that with my tester the way I was running it before, I was not detecting the problem that Bob was seeing. And it was only with the addition of the motor that the problem came to light. I was able to add the motor onto my tester, repair the problem with the controller, and now everything seems to be functional. In fact, I've had this controller plugged in and running for the last 24 hours without any stop. So my little Monty logo on the motor here shows you when the auger is spinning, when the controller is calling for heat, and little Monty, as I was about to say, is quite dizzy about the whole thing because he's been spinning round and round for the last 24 hours. So let's go ahead and shut it down for the first time in the last 24 hours and we'll start the cycle going. We'll let it discharge for a little bit. We see that the motor itself is a little bit warm from running the last 24 hours, but it's warm to the touch. That's fine. So where we stand now is we have Bob's controller connected to my pellet stove tester. My pellet stove tester is made up of a few items which I'll go ahead and describe to you now. Firstly, it has a wiring harness which provides power to the controller, and the controller is plugged into this wiring harness. I also have a number of light bulbs that are used to simulate certain hardware in your stove, such as the combustion fan, the auger motor, and the combustion or room fan. In this instance, I also have my meter, which is connected in AC current mode, which monitors the current that will be flowing through Bob's auger motor. So let me go ahead and turn on the controller and we'll see a couple of the lights come on. The lights that we do see come on are the combustion fan, and we see the room fan come on. We see the room fan come on because of the way that I have my tester built. At this point, we can check a few things in manual mode of the controller. The first thing we'll check is the manual feed. That is a momentary switch on the front of your panel. So when we press on the manual feed, we should see the auger light come on and we should see Bob's auger drive motor spin. So as I press it, it's a momentary switch. The auger motor light comes on, and so does the auger motor itself. Release, press, release, press. So that's a momentary switch and it's functioning correctly. The next thing we can check in manual mode are the room fan settings. We have the high fan switch that we can switch directly to high speed, and you see when I do that, the intensity of the room fan light simulator comes on to brightest. That indicates maximum amount of current is going to flow through the light bulb, making it brighter, and that would simulate your actual room fan motor running at high speed. The other thing we can check here is a low BCDE max switch. That switch would cause the intensity of the room fan light to glow brighter or dimmer depending on the setting. If we move from low to B, C, D, we see the intensity of the light change. We can go to E and max and there is no change. So D, E, and max are the same. That is hardwired on the controller. There's no changing that. So I can go back to low and we see the intensity drop. Back up to D and it raises. So that switch is functioning correctly. So the manual functions of this controller are working well. The next thing we'll check is the automatic mode of the controller. To do that, we'll press the auger button. If we press the auger button, we see the light at the top of the controller comes on. On your stove, that will only come on if your combustion fan is running and the exhaust switch is being made because you have the door closed, you have good seals, and everything is functioning on your vacuum system. So in this case, I have most of that bypassed, so the light comes on and the controller is now in automatic mode. So with that, we're waiting for time to elapse, and we see the first passing of the auger motor drive in automatic. Notice that was quite short. We'll wait a little bit longer. We'll see the light come on the behind the faceplate here, and we'll see the auger motor light come on, and we see the spinning motor. So let's go through that one more time. Keep an eye on those three things right here: the light and the motor spinning. I have noted on the motor that when running it draws approximately 0.6 amps. Let's go ahead and go to max, and that will change the duty cycle of the controller. So that will cause the motor to run longer and have a shorter interval of off time. So notice now how it's running longer. Notice also the current being indicated by my meter is 0.56 amps, which is correct for the note that I put on the motor. So keep an eye on that one more time. 0.57, 0.56. That means that having a 1 amp fuse in your controller should be fine. The one fuse that is behind here between the two switches, and that is only on certain controllers, not all of them, but if you have a fuse there, it should be approximately 1 amp. I've seen some 0.75, but the majority of them are 1 amp. When the motor runs, we draw approximately 0.6 amps, and that is well within the tolerance of the fuse. So Bob, there we have it. All the features have been tested. It's gone through a long marathon test of 24 hours, and I'm quite confident that the last part that I replaced was the root cause of the problem you were seeing. I'll also be including with my shipment a number of spare fuses for you, and be sure to let me know if you have any more issues with this. For all you viewers out there, if you have a pellet stove controller of your own, whether it's a Breckwell brand or any others, or whether it looks like this or different, and you have questions or you needed service, please feel free to contact me. You'll find my contact information located in the video description just below this video. I do want to thank everybody for watching this video. I want to thank Bob one more time for sending me his controller. I hope that if you enjoyed this video, you'll take a few seconds to leave a thumbs up, and I hope that you'll subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate that very much. Thanks everyone. Bye-bye.